This was Utah, not so many years ago, when men first rolled up their sleeves and bent to the task of blending desert and water into a promised land. It is sometimes startling to realize that the span of a single lifetime stretches back through almost our entire history. There are many alive today who well remember when fast transportation had only 2 horsepower, when tractors were fed, not fueled, when all the necessary mechanical skill was found in the strong arm of the smithy, and when tools were simple and few. They were good times, those who remember will tell you, but inexorably life has rolled on at an ever-increasing pace. The patterns of progress have changed with bewildering swiftness until the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren stand today in a world far removed from that early way of life. As late as the 40s, the backbone of Utah's economy still ran through the farms and fields. Even as our population boomed, as the buildings grew taller, as the energy of whole herds of horses was harnessed into powerful engines, as power became ever more necessary to progress, and progress suddenly took a giant step forward. So Utah now finds itself in a new role, important both to the nation and to itself. For its economy and lifeblood beats now with an industrial heart. Think of it. In the span of one human life, this has given way to this. This to this. From simple pleasures to electronic marvels. From oats to octane. From shoulder power to spectacular rocket power. Stop! It's enough to confuse anyone. Well, that may solve his problem. But what is being done to satisfy the immense challenges and the untold opportunities of Utah's industrial revolution? The state faces a critical shortage of trained workers and technicians. Hundreds go jobless because they are not skilled, a problem that will become more severe with every month of progress. The need lies not only in workers for rapidly expanding new industries, but in providing the many services for the thousands of new families flowing into our communities. As one of the few state-supported institutions of its kind, the Salt Lake Trade Technical Institute offers training to the youth just out of high school, the unskilled worker, the woman in search of a supplemental job, or the mechanic needing additional training in new techniques. For these people and thousands like them, Salt Lake Trade Tech today assumes a vital part in preparing them to join the ranks of skilled craftsmen and technicians. Let's follow some of these students and visit behind the scenes as Trade Tech's amazing complex of machinery and modern facilities provide training in a wide variety of trades and skills. In virtually all sections of industry, there is a need for the welder. Salt Lake Trade Tech is proud of its welding shop, which, with its 32 welding stations, ranks among the finest. Here the student masters the 3 major welding techniques: the arc weld, the acetylene weld, and the newest method, the inert gas arc weld. Before he completes the 18-month course, the student will have successfully made virtually every type of weld known. He will be able to operate the automatic cutting torch, which slices through any thickness of metal neater than a hacksaw. He will be thoroughly trained in the various operations of layout and job preparation, and be a skilled operator of many other machines, such as this plate shear. Trade Tech's welding graduates are among the thousands who have proved the value of the school motto, learn to earn. When it comes to the big jobs in construction, farming, in mining, or transportation, the powerful roar of the diesel engine usually makes itself heard. Keeping these mighty engines in operation is a highly specialized task, for which graduates from Trade Tech's Diesel Mechanics Department are well trained. The student becomes familiar with all parts of the diesel engine and with all types of equipment. Working on models like this, he must completely disassemble, rebuild, then put into operation. Later, he does actual repair and overhaul work on bulldozers, cranes, crawler tractors, forklifts, and similar machinery. To these men, there is no sweeter sound, for it holds the promise of a rewarding career. Perhaps no mechanic is more important to the world of industry than the skilled machinist, for from his hands must come the gears and the teeth and the threads that mesh production in thousands of factories. In this modern, well-equipped machine shop at Trade Tech, the student learns to grind and turn and drill and bend a piece of metal into the will of man. There's no place here for the slovenly workman, for accuracy must be measured in 1/10,000th of an inch. This student is working at a lathe, a basic machine tool. Safety techniques are important when using a saw that cuts through metal like the proverbial hot knife through butter. This is the radial drill, one of the many types of drills used in Trade Tech's training program. And this student is operating the complicated milling machine, which turns out such intricate work as this gear. Men with hands and minds trained to accomplish work like this will find an open door to the future. The man who said America moves on wheels knew what he was talking about. But it wouldn't be moving for long without the skill and technical know-how of the automobile mechanic. The comprehensive automotive training program established at Trade Tech brings to the student the very latest in electronic diagnostic methods and test equipment. There's no hunch playing about trouble spots here. Student mechanics in this department are trained in virtually every phase of the automobile. The chassis, standard and automatic transmissions, carburetors, brakes, including the brake drum turning lathe being operated here, and many different types of engines. Another vital part of the automotive industry is the auto body repairman. Students must learn basic welding techniques, paint stripping, metal finishing, how to solder fill for perfect smoothness, and all types of frame repair. Whether it comes from using the panel pick or equipment such as this master repair unit, there is a feeling of real accomplishment for the craftsman here, when torn metal and ugly gashes are restored to their former beauty of line. Of course, the operation is not complete without a visit to the paint shop. Here, the finishing touches are applied, but not before the student has mastered such techniques as using the vibrator sander for feather edging spot painting jobs, cleaned away the last particles of dust, and masked glass and chrome. With the knowledge of mixing and matching colors, and with infrared drying lamps in place, we're ready for the final Well, it seems we're ready to visit another department. Among the several community service trade training programs conducted at Trade Tech is the art of caring for Milady's tresses. Here, a patron receives a reconditioning treatment from a vaporizing machine. The cosmetology department has been one of the most popular courses since the institution was founded in 1947, for there's a constant demand for the trained beautician. The student learns the problems of caring for the hair and scalp, how to shampoo, to give a manicure for that polished look, and the many steps of cutting, permanent waving, and styling that all combine to give our lady and fair that feeling of queenly Barbering, too, is taught at Trade Tech, and there's usually a waiting list for this concentrated 6-month course. Under the watchful eye of the instructor, the student soon becomes proficient in the use of scissors and clippers. Here, too, the student is taught scalp and hair conditioning, massage and shampooing, and all the necessary subjects to give him the skill and background of a first-rate craftsman. Barbering students are enthusiastic and have an attitude that shows well, that brings us to another important career program, practical nursing. Graduates from this 12-month course find themselves in immediate demand. A practical nurse is trained to provide bedside nursing care for hospital patients. The instruction course is intense, but once the student nurse has mastered routines of surgical, pediatric, obstetrical, psychiatric, and geriatric care, she's ready to perform a much-needed and satisfying service to the people of our state. One thing to watch about these nurses, though, most of them have a skeleton in their closet. And while we're on the subject of dieting, let's take a look at our nurses as they study nutrition and balanced diets, another phase of the practical nursing program. It's diet studies like these that make for well-rounded nurses. But let's take a break for a moment from our tour and glance at a few of the other facilities and activities here at Trade Tech. This is the cafeteria, where students may purchase a low-cost lunch or simply gather to exchange pleasantries. Books and supplies are available at special prices in the school bookstore. While for the recreation-minded, there's the auditorium with a friendly duel at the ping-pong tables, or a few relaxing moments at the piano. The auditorium also is the scene for many assemblies and dances throughout the school year. Students may take advantage of the school's counseling service. Here, the Dean of Students offers guidance and help with individual problems. Trade Tech also provides a placement service for its graduates and works closely with industry and the state employment offices in securing the finest job opportunities. Responsible for planning the continued growth and progress at Trade Tech is President J. L. Nelson. Here in the President's office are charts that show the tremendous increase in enrollment in the institution's short history, and plans for the modern new campus that is rising on a 72-acre site in Salt Lake County. Regular conferences with the supervisors of the day and evening schools help keep programs attuned to industry's demands. And here's a man who directs an important phase of the educational program at Trade Tech, related training. In addition to the various shop and laboratory techniques that we've seen, all students at Trade Tech are trained in related subjects. Some of these are industrial math and trigonometry, physics, blueprint reading, communications, and the elements of good human relations. At Trade Tech, knowing why is as important as knowing how. This classroom theory and training is particularly important in the extensive evening school program, where most of those enrolled either are skilled mechanics seeking to increase their knowledge or apprentices receiving technical instruction. The instructors who teach these subjects, shown here in one of their weekly faculty meetings, are all experienced journeymen in the various trades, with years of practical understanding of the problems of their students. But let's visit a few more of our students at work. For those talented with brush or line, there are several excellent careers available. These students are enrolled in the commercial art program. Here we see them at work in the various media of the trade: pencil, charcoal, poster colors, pen and ink, watercolors. These students will become proficient in such fields as poster design, lettering, fashion art, and window displays. For those who lean more to precision craftsmanship, there are the drafting trades. In the mechanical drafting department, the student is trained in lettering, chart and graph making, shading, diagramming, and producing working drawings. Or a combination of both mechanical drafting and commercial art can offer training in a field that is rapidly expanding, that of technical illustrator. It is the job of the technical illustrator to reproduce in understandable form the various ideas and developments of industry. Architectural drafting is another rewarding outlet for artistic ability. Closely allied in basic skills to the mechanical draftsman, the architectural student specializes also in such things as surveying, designing and rendering, and in constructing scale models from blueprints. But for the man or youth who likes the feel of a hammer or saw in his hand, his future might well be found in the building technology program. This well-equipped department allows the trainee to become familiar with such tools as the table saw, the planer, and the many other instruments of the carpentry trade. In a 2-year course, the student will learn framing and flooring and roofing by working on scale structures such as this. Later, he will participate in the annual class project of constructing a complete home, which is sold each spring to the highest bidder. Here is another pair of skilled hands that will help build a greater Utah. No matter where the interest lies, in the many opportunities of the printing industry, in the thousands of jobs awaiting the trained secretary and skilled office worker, or if the fascinating world of electricity holds an attraction with its growlers and voltmeters and circuit analyzers. Or if there is the desire to become one of the growing army of technicians employing the wonders of electronics to new processes, new machines, whole new industries. No matter where the interest lies, a person with willing hands, with skilled hands, can find unlimited opportunity. Approximately 2/3 of the jobs in Utah are in skilled and technical areas requiring training beyond the high school level. If you're a housewife who wishes to supplement the family income, if you're a man who seeks additional opportunities and rewards that come with skilled craftsmanship and technical knowledge, if you're a young man or woman just out of high school who faces critical decisions, the Salt Lake Trade Technical Institute invites you to take advantage of its many training programs to meet the challenge of the golden days ahead and place the future in your hands.
Inquisitive young people like Keith and Beverly come to the school every day with their career planning problems. And thanks to the foresight of legislative and school officials, this state-supported Trade and Technical Institute is now available to serve the needs of the numbers that go to college. Furthermore, it is that Utah's developing industrialization will not be handicapped for the lack of skilled workers. Keith and Beverly will learn that the facilities of the school have been planned to meet the needs of those desiring to learn a trade at which they can earn a respectable living. They will observe daytime training in 17 basic trades, requiring from 3 months to 2 years to master. The evening school offers training in 26 different subjects. Everyone at this institution takes a personal interest in students. Counseling service, testing facilities, employment and job data are all available to assist with their decisions. While answering daily inquiries about training, school personnel have learned that the best way to help interested applicants is to show them the school at work. Keith and Beverly have come for assistance. Let us accompany them as the school president shows them about. Your trade is your future has become an important axiom at the Salt Lake Area Vocational School. Displays created by the Commercial Art Department make this evident. Students learn to paint window backgrounds and design all types of three-dimensional units. The little figure called VOED stands for Vocational Education and represents the type of training that prepares for immediate employment. Yes, students with the inspiration of VOED are making it a point to learn to earn. This student is finishing a pastel portrait for a magazine cover. Poster rendering design, fashion illustration, and figure drawing are other important aspects of this fascinating employment field. The basis for regular employment in a skilled trade can be acquired in our tailoring and fashion design program, which extends over 2 9-month terms, the duration of most of the trade preparatory programs offered at Utah's School of Opportunity. Students learn to operate special machines, including double needle sewing machines, over-edgers, embroidery, and buttonhole machines. This professional course covers all of the fundamental practices used in the manufacture of outer garments, including power and hand sewing, pressing, measuring, cutting, and fitting. Students study materials and learn to create designs and prepare patterns for new types and styles of wearing apparel. Some garments are made from original designs, others from commercial patterns. A proper fit for every garment completed is a class objective. Students in radio and television learn to use standard test equipment. Here, for the first time, many are confronted with the fundamental concept of electronics. As these fundamentals are mastered, the mysteries of radio begin to unfold. Practice with modern testing equipment makes the student versatile in troubleshooting. The instructor is always available for individual attention to the needs of each student. Television has mushroomed into a major industry. The radio and TV program of the Salt Lake Area Vocational School is helping to fill this demand. Students learn control and adjustment of television circuits and installation of picture tubes. Students learn to wire television chassis according to diagram, putting each of the 400 parts in place. Yes, some circuits are so complex that even electrons must have trouble finding their way about. The complexities of the radio transmitter offer still another challenge to the student. This training aid has the same design and complements of a small radio receiver. Upon completion of the electronics program, the student is prepared to accept employment in this expanding new industry. In meeting the needs of Utah's increasing industrialization, no single factor has contributed more than the power of electricity. In the electrical class, the student discovers that the work of a simple permanent magnet can be duplicated on a vaster scale by winding coils of copper wire around iron bars, the vital core of an industrial electrical motor. And here, paper insulation is used to prevent the coil from grounding on the frame. The completed coils of copper wire are locked into position by wooden wedges. The completed windings, connected to an electrical circuit, produce magnetism strong enough to turn over the motor. The testing process is the culmination of every rewinding job. Utah's expanding industrialization has created an increasing market for skilled labor. There is a shortage of trained office personnel. Visitors to the business department are greeted by student receptionists. Salt Lake Area Vocational School business students devote 6 hours per day for 9 months to prepare themselves to go directly into employment. Practical training in all phases of office work is provided. Typewriting, receptionist training, business English, office techniques, dictaphone transcription, filing, personality development, shorthand, mimeographing, telephone technique, and business machine operation are included in the course. Individuals may specialize in certain phases of the course or prepare for general clerical positions. Although the school does not guarantee employment, no difficulty has been encountered in securing employment for qualified trainees. Our bookstore and warehouse manager has learned what students want and need. Here, the student is able to save time as well as money by procuring necessary tools, books, equipment, and supplies. The well-stocked shelves of our warehouse permit the trade training classes to operate smoothly and efficiently. Ping pong, volleyball, the piano, and a Coke help us to relax. Screwdriver and pliers methods of diagnosis are obsolete at the Auto Mechanics Department of Salt Lake Area Vocational School. As the students assemble over an engine to check the tune-up procedure or read the vacuum pressure with modern analyzing equipment, informal quiz sessions help each to understand the why and the how of the repair operation. The heart of an automobile engine is the distributor, and students are constantly using our modern test equipment to ensure that the heart is in good condition. Instructors are journeyman mechanics. They make certain that each student uses and understands micrometers and other measuring instruments. As the student progresses, he comes to respect good equipment and to appreciate the need for proper care and maintenance of his tools. He also acquires a sense of responsibility that is an essential feature of good citizenship. He develops a pride in his trade that enables him to recognize and appreciate good work and to constantly strive for a better performance. He recognizes that inferior workmanship is both costly and dangerous. In short, he lays the foundation for becoming a skilled tradesman, proud of his ability to do a good job and stimulated to do his level best. The skilled welder must be able to do both acetylene and arc welding. Both types of welding are taught at the Salt Lake Area Vocational School. The welding department has 14 stations completely equipped for acetylene welding and an equal number of booths for arc welding. Students learn the application of these welding processes to all kinds of metal in all kinds of jobs. Learning to light and use the hand-operating cutting torch is one of the basic procedures which the student masters early. The machine cutting torch cuts metal of all thicknesses, smoother than a hacksaw, producing all shapes and sizes, even circles and bevels. Special emphasis is placed upon the use of the electric arc in welding. It accounts for about 90% of the total welding done today. Safety practices require that the eyes and the face always be protected when using the electric arc welder. Those who complete the welding and other training programs receive certificates of accomplishment, which certify as to the quantity and quality of work done. All graduates of the welding course have obtained good jobs. Practical nursing, which requires only a 12-month training period, was designed to alleviate the critical nursing shortage. Students spend 4 months in school, 6 months in a hospital, and then return to the school for a review prior to graduation. The school is equipped with standard hospital equipment for students to practice upon prior to their induction into the hospital training, for which they are paid a stipend. All nursing practice is done under the supervision of a registered nurse. And here is Mrs. Chase, the chief patient. She has her head washed, her feet soaked, and receives dozens of injections daily. Oh, did someone forget this one? This vital program is established with the active assistance of an advisory committee composed of individuals directly responsible for nursing care in the community. One of the objectives of practical nursing is to care for patients in the home. A knowledge of dietetics and the preparation of food is therefore necessary. How about a sample? A barbering student is prepared to go out on the job after 6 months of training. He'll know how to diagnose and correct skin and scalp conditions, give a good haircut, shave, massage or shampoo, and most important, he will know how to get along well with the public that he is learning to serve. 15 students can be trained in this modern, well-equipped salon. Salon. To become a licensed barber, a student is required to complete 1,000 hours of training and 1 year of work experience under a journeyman. Too bad we all don't have the hair to hold those suds. Well, they say cleanliness is next to godliness. Some of the best women's hairstylists are men. Don't suppose a woman could trust another woman to do the job. However, some women are just as adept at the barbering trade as men are. Graduates have demonstrated the ability to advance rapidly in the trade. Many are now running their own shops. Not even men have greater appreciation for a well-groomed woman than the professional beautician. Cosmetology is one of the most popular service occupations. The 1,500 hours of instruction are designed to prepare the student for the state examination. Included in the 10-month course are shampooing, permanent waving, facial and scalp massage, manicuring, hair cutting, tinting, bleaching, and shop management. Students develop skill by practicing on each other until they are qualified to work on patrons. The public is invited to have work done in the school's modern, well-equipped salon. All work is supervised by a licensed beautician instructor. One of the most popular and profitable services in cosmetology is hair styling. The operator must have a thorough knowledge of hair structure, color, and condition. A well-trained stylist, male or female, can make a good living. Machine shop work calls for great precision. The successful machinist must thoroughly understand and acquire a background of mathematics and physics, as well as understand correct use of measuring instruments and hand tools. The milling machine is one of the basic machines of the Salt Lake Area Vocational School Machine Shop Department. It is used for gear cutting, thread cutting, and other unusual operations. In this operation, the machine is milling the teeth in a series of spur gears. These trainees are operating engine lathes. It's another of the basic machines of industry. Thus, it is one of the machines that the student masters early in his course of training. This shaper is transforming a block of round steel stock into a rectangular part for the hydraulic press of a plastic machine. The work of the machine shop is basic to several other crafts. Each of the various machines has a definite part to perform in the manufacture of machine parts. The machine industry has a great significance in the economy of our nation, at peace or at war. Yes, the machines will provide the energy, but only skilled machinists with the necessary know-how can use this energy constructively. The draftsman works with ideas. These ideas must be expressed in the form of plans which are so clear and understandable that the builder will be able to readily convert them into the objects or structures desired. All the details of a building must be expressed in the plans, for the quality of the draftsman's plans determines in large measure the quality of the building. To further clarify ideas, scale models may be constructed. These help the client or builder to actually see the structure depicted in the plan. They are also of great value in formulating ideas for site development. Another aid in converting ideas to visible form is the three-dimensional colored drawing or rendering. With scale models and renderings, the draftsman reveals what his plans express in complete detail. Thus, it is possible to eliminate many problems before undertaking construction. The atmosphere of the drafting office is captured in group discussions, with the exchange of ideas between students and instructor paralleling the relationship between draftsman and employer. Diesel equipment is used extensively in transportation, farming, mining, and construction industries. This GMC two-cycle diesel engine is used in many trucks and buses on our highways today. Men thoroughly trained in the maintenance and repair of such equipment have almost unlimited employment possibilities. Students practice routine maintenance, adjustment, repair, and overhaul procedures on these modern engines in the school's laboratory. Modern equipment is available to test fuel pumps and over 200 different types of fuel injectors. Students learn to diagnose troubles and to make proper adjustments. Cutaways and models are used to explain the structure and function of the diesel engine. After the student becomes thoroughly familiar with these principles, he gets an abundance of work experience on actual jobs. Farm and industrial equipment are operated by diesel power. Students who master these skills encounter no difficulty in obtaining employment. The Master Body Repair Unit enables the repairman to harness mechanical power and hydraulic pressure in auto body repair. The journeyman mechanics teaching these men are well aware that the public demands work of consistently high quality. Finishing repairs are accomplished with a hand plane or file. This eliminates those tiny dents and bumps which would mar a perfect finish. Sometimes denser holes cannot be pressed or bumped out, so the damaged section is filled with body lead, which can then be filed and sanded to the proper contour. Application of the high-speed sanding machine is the final step in the finishing process. Preparation for painting is an essential part of the job. Masking protects chrome, windows, tires, and painted surfaces from the overspray of the gun. Spray painting looks easy, but it requires many hours of practice. Runs and rough spots are the mark of the inexperienced painter. This finished product is a sample of the excellent workmanship consistently done by students at Salt Lake Area Vocational School. Students who master these skills needn't worry about finding jobs. Few tradesmen use a greater variety of power tools than the carpenter. Many common jobs such as mortising, planing, jointing, and cut-off work can be done most efficiently by machines especially designed for that work. These machines take much of the arduous labor out of carpentry. They also make it possible to do skillful work faster. The cut-off saw, the planer, and the shaper demonstrate the specialized operations done by modern machines. However, the machine is no better than the man who is running it. All carpentry students must develop skill in machine operation. Safety is constantly emphasized. Every trainee procures his own kit of hand tools and makes his own toolbox so that he'll be ready to step into a job immediately at the end of his training. They are all his own, and he is taught how to use them. The carpentry instructor is pointing out the various tools required in carpentry. It has been said that you can tell the quality of a craftsman simply by looking into his toolbox. The tools a man owns and the way he takes care of them definitely reflect the type of work that he will do. Carpentry students build scale models of houses to enable them to comprehend the methods and practices used in constructing a building from blueprints. Before they actually build a full-size house, they learn to meet and solve the many problems of converting a plan on paper into an actual structure. When they get on the job, they earn their way right from the beginning. The school provides on-the-job experience by building a full-size house each year. Students take part in the planning, estimate the cost of materials, and the step-by-step construction of the home. Experience is a master teacher. Students learn by doing. Trade training is insurance that your future home will be built by skilled workmen. Among the scores of successful trainees who have completed trade training programs at Utah's largest and youngest trade school are Ivan Hall, who completed our welding course. He's employed by a large industrial firm. Elaine Osborne, a cosmetology graduate, operates her own beauty salon. Robert Woolley, a former machine shop student, now machine shop foreman at a nearby military installation. And David Welker is one of our many successful barbering graduates. Now that you've seen a preview of the school at work, you may be interested in reviewing the student training costs. This chart presents cost data for both the day and evening programs. Salt Lake Area Vocational School, cost of training. Day school, 9 months. Registration fee, $10. Tuition and fees, $78. Books and supplies, $12.50. Tools, average cost, $37.50. $138 per year. Evening school, registration fee, $3. Tuition per month, $3. Our school catalog will answer specific questions that may have been omitted during the tour. We hope that the Salt Lake Area Vocational School can be of service to you. It has been a pleasure to show you our school.